So today we are going to be going over all the trading tips that I've gathered from trading to for DIO over heavens.
What the fuck?
Now, currently don't have anything to show you guys in my inventory right now that, has insane value, because I did trade for DIOs and then traded those DIOs for rerolls. But, that doesn't mean that doesn't mean I don't have any good tips for you guys. I've been trading for a while. I used to trade a ton when I had some pretty good tradable units. So yeah, let's get into the first tip, which is the value list. Alright, so on the value list here, I'm just going to be going over how to use it, because some of you may not know what to look at first and stuff, but I'll just be going through my thought process when looking at the value list. Now, usually I look at the demand and trend. Why? Well, for example, if DIO over heaven, like someone's trading for DIO over heaven, right? Maybe one person maybe got a really good deal for over heaven and gave 500 rerolls, right? Just got lucky with the trade. 500 rerolls, huge underpay. Now, another person may trade their deal for 1500 rerolls, and that's a huge overpay. So the demand is usually, the value is usually just average value for overall trades. It's not the exact value or how much you can actually get it for. You may get more than the value listed here or less than the value listed here. That's why the demand and trend is super important to look at, more than the value itself. The value is just like a basis, just the average, value, how much it's kind of like average worth. Now then you look over to demand, and obviously the higher the demand, the better, meaning more people want this unit, meaning it is easier to trade this unit, because the more people that want it, the more trades you will get. So yeah, that is demand. And then the trend is pretty self-explanatory. Overpriced means people are willing to pay a crap ton for this unit. Stable means stable. It doesn't seem to be, moving in value too much right now. The value will probably stay around the same for a little while longer, along with the demand. And unstable meaning probably the value or demand could change, or maybe they're just uncertain. I'm not too sure what unstable means. I'm pretty sure it means that the value could change at any time, or it's just like an unsure, you know what I mean? Because, for example, this unit, the demand is 2 because nobody really knows about this unit. Like, it's rare, but the demand says not a lot of people want it, and the trend is unstable, meaning like it could go down in the future or it could go up in the future. No one knows. Now, hyped, it's literally like self-explanatory. It means that unit is really hyped. Maybe like the cosmetic is what getting it hyped. Maybe the unit is useful and that's why it's hyped. There's a lot of reasons why a unit can be hyped, like the cosmetic or how useful the unit is. For example, shiny power was pretty hyped not too long ago, and it actually raised the value of shiny power. It used to be a high A tier unit, but now it's in the low S tier, because power was used a lot for tournaments. That's why. So yeah, hyped could, be a good sign for unit. Now declining obviously means that it's declining value. Like Belush used to be worth 500 rerolls, now he's worth 135. Like, he just continues to decline. But yeah, that's most of you probably know that about this tier list. I just wanted to explain it again for the people or the beginners that don't. But yeah, that is what goes through my mind when I look at a value list. I look at the demand first, the trend. Obviously I look at the value, and then I determine how much I would overpay. For example, if I'm trading for a shiny 121, the demand is pretty good, the trend is stable, I'm willing to overpay a decent amount, maybe by 40 rerolls or something, by 50 rerolls, something like that. I don't know that in percentages. I'll put I'll put the percentage in screen about how much I usually, overpay for a unit depending on like the demand of the trend. But I usually like for these high to mid S tier units, I overpay a decent amount, like I'd say 40 to 50, maybe even more. Especially for the high S tier units. But yeah, that is usually how I use it. Now we're gonna move on to tip 2, which is the Discord server. All right, so we're gonna be talking about how to use Discord to your advantage when trading. Obviously, use exclusive trading if you have access to it, but if you don't, that's fine as well. Now, most people list their things right here and they just put looking for good offer. Now, usually that isn't helpful for people. That doesn't really get people to offer. You know what I mean? Looking for good offer does not make people want to offer. What you want is you want people to offer, right? And what makes people want to offer is when you put what you're actually looking for. You have a much higher chance of getting that offer when you put what you're looking for. So if you're trading an SSS damage mammy and you put looking for rerolls, that's good too. By the way, I took this from someone up here. Shout out to whoever that guy is. I forgot, I lost him. Anyways, yeah, you want to put what you're looking for. Overpay on my shiny mammy. What you're trading shiny mammy, you can even put how much you want, how much of an overpay you want. That will help you even more. And then, for your Issei, my shiny Issei for 2 Amelias, that's even better. If someone has 2 Isseis, then 2 Amelias, then they could just send you. Then you could just complete the trade right there. Obviously, don't put, if it's an absurd trade, don't put it up. You know what I mean? Like, let's say my shiny Issei for D over heaven. Obviously, that wouldn't work, but yeah, putting what you're looking for in the trade offer, in the trading thing, and when you post it, helps a ton. Now, if you're looking to offer something to someone, what's the best way to offer and close a deal? Now, if you have like a certain unit that you want to trade for example, let's say you want to trade for this shiny Madoka. You have a decent trade for it. Let's say the scenario is you have a couple low demand units and you want to upgrade into a shiny Madoka and you're overpaying by a little bit. That is the scenario. What I would do is I would DM like I'd say 3 to 5 people that have shiny Madoka and same offer, and I would see what they say. And if they counter, that means it's not a bad deal, but I want a little bit more. So you add a little bit more and see if they accept. If they don't accept, then if none of them accept, actually, even after countering, then you really need to fix your offer. Maybe the demand, maybe the units that you have are too low in demand and you replace a couple for some better units, or maybe you just add a lot more to make up for that bad demand units. And yeah, you just want to keep on offering. It takes a lot of time, a lot of offering, but yeah, you will eventually you will create a trade good enough to trade for that unit. You just don't be afraid to switch up your trade if you can afford to. Obviously, if you don't have it, then I don't know what to tell you. You just gotta wait till you get more stuff. But yeah, that's what I usually do when I have a unit in mind that I want to trade for. Now, that's about it for the Discord part. Obviously, take advantage of win-loss if you got an offer that you're unsure about. But that's kind of common sense. I'm not going to get too into that. But yeah, let's move on to the next tip. All right, so we're going on to the last few tips, which is the timing. So timing of the trade is also important. What I mean by that is when for these secret units like Poseidon and stuff, and Skull Knight, I don't have them right now, but those secret units, you want to trade them right when they come out, because that is where you most likely get profits. Now, it is hard because nobody knows exactly what the value is yet, so that you just gotta take advantage of that. For example, when I was trading for DIO, my first ever DIO trade, it was also my first video ever, but I traded 400 rerolls and 3 Mist Ninjas for 40 over Heaven. Now, at that time, it was a pretty fair trade, right? But no one knew that DIO over Heaven was going to get even more expensive than that. And I knew people that gave back then like 700 rerolls for it. So I thought it was a pretty good win. Now, obviously, I could have probably gotten a better trade. I saw some people that gave way less for DIO over Heaven. So yeah, timing is a really important thing, especially at the start when they first come out, because nobody knows the value. So it's either they will either overpay a lot, or you make a mistake and you get a big underpay. So that's really for you to decide if the trade is good. Taking everything I said about in this video, compare it to old secret units, compare Poseidon, look at his cosmetic, see what people are saying about him. Do people like this cosmetic? Is he a good unit? And then you kind of can have an idea of his value when he first comes out, even though if it's not on the tier list yet. You kind of just got to consider hey, if he's useful, his demand will probably go up a bit, because like Homer is very useful. She's a good support unit, she has a good time stop, and she has a decent cosmetic. So when she came out, her demand was actually quite high because people needed her for tournaments and stuff. So Poseidon might be the same thing. Skull Knight has a good cosmetic, but he's in the best unit, so maybe he won't be worth as much as Poseidon. I don't know. You just gotta consider all those things when trading a unit that you have no idea about. They just came out, you have no she's not on the value list yet, and you just have no idea. You just gotta consider all those things. And yeah, if I were to start as a beginner, the first thing I would do is gather as many of these screenings as possible, as many Poseidons as possible, as many Skull Knights, if you have time, obviously, as possible. And yeah, always go for upgrades as a beginner. If you have nothing, if you don't have any shinies or anything, always go for upgrades. Don't be afraid to overpay for upgrades, for good upgrades with good demand. That's why I use the value list. And obviously, if you have spare Robux, use trade battle passes. Battle passes can make you a huge profit when they first come out, because people are willing to overpay a lot just to get that new battle pass for those 50 rerolls and stuff. So if you have spare rerolls, definitely do that. You can make decent profit trading battle passes. And yeah, that's what I would do as a beginner. Trade battle passes when they first come out. Stack up on the secret units. That could take a while depending on how your luck is with secret portals, but some people get really lucky and get a ton. Do Infinity Castle, do tournaments, try to get those units as well. Just get as many tradable units as possible from banner, from wherever. That's what I would do as a beginner. And then always go for upgrades. Don't be afraid to overpay. But that's about it for me, guys. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I tried to think about everything. So if I miss anything, please do let me know in comments below. I will pin it. If I did miss it, this is all I could really think about. I don't think I missed anything. Maybe I did, I'm not too sure. But yeah, this is all the tips that I used for my trading journey and how I traded for DIOs. A lot of it was luck too. There is a luck factor in DIO and in trading. Especially for people that don't have a platform like me, it is a lot harder. It takes a lot of patience and consistency to find good trades, because yeah, it's really all about finding the right person for those big trades. So don't get too angry if you can't find a good offer for some of your units. It does take time. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.